First and foremost, let me introduce myself. My name is Jocelyn. I am a licensed esthetician, and I've been doing brows for about 4 years now. So yeah, I'm a licensed esthetician. I just got into skincare, so I'm super excited to be learning as I go. And I thought, why not bring you ladies along with me as I'm learning? I'm gonna answer the first question that someone had for me. So the first question is going to be, how was the school you went to and what did you use to study? So I'll start with the first question. I went to the Beauty Institute on Red Lion Road. I did night class there, and I would say it took me 6 months to graduate. The morning class is a little different from the nighttime. I went from Monday through Thursday, 6 to 10 p.m. Now, the first 6 weeks are online at the Beauty Institute, and then the rest you will do hands-on. So basically, we did like all the book work online for 6 weeks, and then we were told to go in to do to learn hands-on, basically facial massages, body waxing, makeup. My experience there, I would say, it was up and down. I love the Beauty Institute when I first started. I've always wanted to go to beauty school, so that was like a dream of mine, and to be enrolled in there, it was super amazing. But I would say the only down part about it was that they really don't get into depth of teaching you like skincare, corrective skin. They don't teach you Brazilian waxing. They don't teach you brow mapping. Pretty much they just teach you like the basics of beauty school, and honestly I looked at it as like, I'm just here to get my hours because I have the experience. I'm just here to get my hours and keep it moving. I was grateful for the teachers that I did have because they did teach me a lot, but pretty much believe what you hear about beauty school, because you are only going to learn the basics. A lot of different schools have things to offer, but as far as that school, they only really taught you the basics. And they start you off with a Dermalogica kit, which I think mostly every person that starts beauty school gets a Dermalogica kit, which, I like the Dermalogica, but obviously there are better skincare products out there for you. So yeah, I would say my experience was like a 7 or 8 out of 10. I'm just happy that I got through it. Like I said, I did night school, so it took me 6 months to complete it. I think the daytime, it's only 3 months. But, I had a job and then I have kids, so I decided to do night school. It took me a little longer, but I started in July, and then I graduated about December 10th was the day I graduated, if I'm not mistaken. Around December 10th is when I graduated. And then I basically right away, I scheduled my esthetician test. I knew I wasn't ready, but I wanted to prepare myself. And I feel like the only way to prepare yourself for something is to just go for it. Just throw yourself. So that's basically what I did. I just scheduled the exam. I didn't study for the first 2 weeks at all. I have no idea why, but I just didn't study because I just had so much going on. I just finished school. I was trying to get back into the motion of being home with my girls, my husband. So yeah, I would say I literally only studied the week of my test. I swear that my test was probably Thursday, and I started to study on Monday. I used a lot of the forms that they gave me in esthetician school, the state laws and regulations. I think you can also find those on the website. And then I also watched, her name is Glam and Beyond. Her YouTube channel is Glam and Beyond. Now, she's an esthetician from Texas, but she had a lot of review videos that were very, very, very informative. So I literally just watched her videos all day while I was at work. I put my earphones on and I was just listening to her all day. You just have to be careful about the state laws and regulations because they're different in Texas than Philadelphia. So that's pretty much all you have to worry about. But as far as her reviews, they were really, really good. I will attach her Instagram in the caption below, so that way you guys can use that. But that really helped me a lot. And went to go take the test, I was super nervous. Like I was so scared. Like, and I was doing a whole bunch of studying before like I went upstairs to sign in because I got there like 30 minutes before, and I was like so scared. Like I couldn't even breathe. But yeah, I went upstairs, I checked myself in, and I was just trying to remember everything in my head. Like I was just trying to store stuff away in my head in different files to remember stuff. But yeah, so once I went in, they checked me in. I had to put everything in a locker, my phone in a locker, everything, like all the stuff that I had. And then once I started the test, they asked you the first 15 questions are the state laws and regulations. So I would say study that, because the first 15 are that. And if you fail that, then I don't really know. There's 115 questions on the test. So the first 15 are state laws. And then after that, they ask you 100 questions. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys and say that like I was breezing through them questions. And the crazy part is like I studied like the skin diseases and those type of things. And let me just tell you that none of them questions were on the test. Like I probably got like at least like 2 or 3 of those. What was really on the test was like, what angle are you supposed to hold the wax stick when waxing? They had questions like, what is epilating, which is like removing hair. They had some questions about threading, which I already knew. But yeah, like everybody's test is different. Thankfully, the test that I got, like I breezed through it. I remember that I was on like number 70, and I was like, there's no way I'm at 70, because them questions that I just did, I got them right. Like I knew all of them, and I was doing cross elimination through the questions and things like that. But for the most part, like I knew I had it in the bag. So when I got to question 100, like I was so nervous to submit it. I was like, oh God, I better pass this test. Like I swear if I don't pass it, I'm gonna feel like a failure. And I hate feeling like a failure, but I knew I didn't study a lot, so I was pretty scared, but I was pretty confident. I'm not gonna lie, I was confident, because I'm like, okay, these questions were super easy and I didn't get all the hard questions. So they give you a printout when you're done. When you're done, you're supposed to like raise your hand like this, so the lady knows that you're finished. And then it's really quiet in there. There's like a whole bunch of like computers and desks, and people are just like taking all different types of tests, because it's not just the esthetician test they hold in there. But yeah, for the most part, I was so scared. So I had to use the bathroom really fast, like really bad. So I went to the front and I was like, I'm finished. And he was like, do you want your printout now, or do you want to use the bathroom? I'm like, no, I want my printout now. So he printed out the paper, and then he had the nerve to look at my paper. And I was like, I was supposed to look at it first. Like, what? So he looked at the paper, but I guess they were supposed to do that. So he looked at the paper, and then he was like he had a straight face on. So I was like, bro, if I fail this test, I'm gonna be so mad at myself. But I knew, like I just knew I passed that test. So he gave it to me, and I turned it around real quick. I was like, and it said I passed, and I was literally screaming inside. Like I didn't want to be too hyped, but I was just like, I can't believe I passed. Like I'm really a licensed esthetician. So I went to the bathroom, like I couldn't even breathe. I called my husband. I'm like, I passed. He's like, girl, I know you were gonna pass. I don't know why you were so worried, but I just always be doubting myself. I don't know why. But yeah, I was like super happy. I would say just go in there with a clear mind. Like study as much as you can. But honestly, just go in there with a clear mind, because what's the worst that can happen? You're gonna fail. You're gonna see what questions are on the test, and you're gonna take it again. So that's pretty much the advice I would give to you ladies. Like just study as much as you can. They have a lot of review videos on YouTube. Like you don't need the actual book to study. So I would say, because the book, honestly, there's so many chapters, like, and I just did not feel like sitting through all them chapters. I would say download the esthetician app, because I was using that in the beginning. Like before the 2 weeks, I was using that a lot, and I just kept failing. And I'm like, bro, I'm gonna fail this test. But once I started to do the hard paperwork and like really study that and listen to videos and stuff, I felt a little bit more confident. But yeah, I would just say go in there with a clear mind, and just do cross elimination. Like some of the questions they ask you, like you're gonna know it. It's really common sense. But yeah, if you ladies have any other questions, about beauty school, about the test, feel free to DM me questions, and I'll make another video getting into detail of like the questions that they ask, of what you should study, like what basically what sections you should study. So yeah, and that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this informative video, and if you have any questions, feel free to DM me. I'm gonna put the information down below of what I studied, what school I went to, and if you have any other questions, feel free to DM me.